Hello, and welcome to the War in the Pacific. It is the 16th of December, 1941. The Japanese are attempting to extract their pinned down invasion force in the Aleutians. The clock is ticking. The Allies are certain to respond. Meanwhile, combat continues throughout the Dutch East Indies and the Philippine Sea, primarily as the Allies attempt to escape the ever tightening noose of Japanese naval power. Small minesweeper trying to get away from Guam runs into a torpedo boat searching for stragglers. A-10 misses a chance at one of my important minesweepers. Ah, so here come the bad guys. What is this? Some armed merchant cruisers? This doesn't look like it's going to end well for the Canadians. So I was expecting heavy cruisers. This is a fortunate turn of events. Let's see how the combat continues. Okay, Prince Henry and Prince Rupert are done for. Here come more Americans.
Hello, my misguided friends. This is your number one enemy, Orphan Anne, from Radio Tokyo, with another blow to your morale and some music to console you. Today, the Imperial government announced that the Imperial Navy has achieved another great victory near Dutch Harbor with the sinking of two carriers, a battleship, and numerous cruisers and destroyers.
Tokyo Rose exaggerated. It looks like a inconclusive engagement at this point between some more, I guess, Detroit class cruisers and a couple destroyers. So far, though, the covering force of those two small destroyers have kept the enemy away from my fast transport task force, which is finishing unloading the troops or loading the troops to evacuate. Row 63 finds a small transport at Canton, sinks her with her deck gun, looks like. Oh, Americans continue to press. This time, looks like they get in close and manage to sink one of my destroyers, Min Suzuki. She's an old, just post World War One destroyer, but still useful. She carried long lances. Hmm. So a torpedo boat against three British destroyers. Tuskegee, though, does okay. The destroyers continue on. Run after my sub chasers. Sinking one sub chaser. These destroyers, I believe, are operating out of Singapore as raiders. No big deal. Huh. Americans bombard, burning up all their ammo. That's good. British bombard. I've got a lot of transports in port, but nothing important. Some more damage. One of my fast transport task forces extending my coverage of the Gilberts. Much more important, this invasion goes in to grab Focus Island in the Indian Ocean. We'll see. It didn't appear he had managed to get any units there. In, in sweeping mines at Hong Kong. These two task forces should evade since the English have burned up their ammo. Yeah. 162. My submarines continue to sink transports, presumably trying to get supplies into Rangoon. Torpedo boat will finish off the damage. Minesweeper. Okay. Let's see what happens in the air. He has quite a bit of small shipping in and around Rangoon. I have quite a few submarines there. And as we'll talk about at turn wrap up, um, we're soon to have destroyers operating that area. So the Mavises are catching the last few of his stragglers, trying to get out of the Philippine Sea, heading east. Shouldn't say they're catching, they're detecting. And then we'll vector in torpedo boats and a few small destroyers. There's an AVD at Guam that presumably made its escape from the Philippines. So my minesweepers cleared the way again through the Sunda Straits, and now all my valuable Java convoy ships are in the Indian Ocean. Okay, third coup. Oh, third coup sweeping finds a bunch of American P-40s at Surabaja. This should go pretty well. Indeed, it does. We'll see what the final tally is, but 3 to 4 to 1 would be typical since the zeros appeared to have. So he had one squadron down at 8, one at 15, one at 12. So he'd stacked his cap, but the zeros came in higher. And yeah, so pretty evenly matched aircraft, but the sweep advantage, altitude advantage, and more experienced pilots are going to lead to typically, again, 3 or 4 to 1. Sometimes as bad as 2 to 1, but still very much in favor. However, I will lose more pirate pilots as a proportion than he will. So I set my didn't intend the Nels to actually participate in this bombing run, and I set my bombers too low. They're coming at 6,000 feet. They should have been at 10,000 feet because he has Bofors there almost certainly. So I'm going to lose a few bombers due to incorrectly identifying the threat. So bombers go in. Yep, those Bofors are. We'll see what the final tally is, but probably lost 3-ish bombers. Again, due to incorrectly setting my altitude or misunderstanding the threat. My transports are going to get badly handled. Sally's. I'll need to shut those Sallies down because he can easily long range cap and try to catch those unescorted bombers. Ooh, Hudson's unescorted. Hmm, not sure I would have done that. So he likes to bomb my ports. He generally doesn't sink anything. He just damages the shipping. Uh, and I have plenty of ships, and these aren't valuable transports here. And he probably lost 5 bombers all told for nothing. Uh, you know, nothing sunk anyway. And so I'm not sure about this strategy. Uh, Maybe he has a longer range plan. Filling up all my shipyard capacity with repairing AKs and AKLs, which of course I won't actually do. He's using his B-17s as tactical air support, uh, if it makes him feel good. Again, it's not really affecting those units there, and I'm just about I've reinforced and am reinforcing, and will take Monado. So not sure he gets much from that. Okay, that's probably most of the excitement for this turn. Said it looks like I was able to evacuate that Veterans Special Naval Landing Force unit from Dutch Harbor. Uh, Looks like we had a pretty good run in the air. You may have seen that one message flash. I have a torpedo boat that was damaged in that engagement with a British destroyer yesterday, and her fires are. She's in a level 3 port, size 3 port, but her fires are looking out of control, so we may lose her. On the other hand, the British destroyer is at sea burning, and I have other combat ships in the area, so she is probably done for. I have two heavy cruiser task forces loitering off south of Java, waiting to see if the last Royal Navy ships try to make a run for it. That's the two light cruisers and Moriartis, who was sighted by recon at Sorabaja this turn. So she hasn't made her escape yet. She's badly damaged. My guess is she can only make 20 knots. Like Boise, she'll be meat for the Mogamis that are loitering out there. Ah, yes, my transports, at least they're being damaged, not destroyed. We'll speed through. Looks like, again, none of them were destroyed, which is good. The Bofors crews were probably just about out of ammunition by that point, shooting at all my bombers. Not sure I needed the shore bombardment since it doesn't appear there were any enemy troops there. Grabbing Tegula Island to base patrol aircraft and extend our patrol coverage. Clearing my rail lines. So the rest of the 48th Division has arrived, but this attack is actually only the two tank battalions. Interestingly, they don't they don't take the base, but we've got plenty of combat power to take it next time. I wonder if he's railed units in or moved them. Interesting. And the important one, Cocos Island, falls good. We'll attack at Kuching again next turn now that those two veteran infantry battalions are rested. Uh-oh. My paratroopers lost combat power. That's not good. Looks like I lost a lot of paratroopers in the landings. 40 millimeter Bofors will do that if you're trying to parachute down. So this is going to be the end of the third SNLF. I'll have to rebuild it. Um, I assume he'll shock attack next turn and destroy them. It's a little disappointing, but he got there firstest with the mostest. Okay, we'll speed through this. Let's quickly just look in on the Aleutians. Yes, so it's able to get that special naval landing force unit extracted. And since he expended all his ammo, unless there are more surface task forces, we can then move on to take our original objectives, which were Amchitka and Chima Island. Um, and then we have reinforcements on their way, along with more units. We won't send them until we get air coverage, air naval search coverage in the area. But the Navy is loitering off here. We'll take Shima, drop that AV in, fly in, it's a patrol aircraft, establish air coverage, and then decide whether to continue to invest in the Aleutian campaign or not. We can check to see. Yeah, so this DMS, Destroyer Minesweeper, potentially is in danger of sinking. Nothing else is. Again, these, we don't have anything of particular value here. As soon as Batavia falls, we'll go ahead and move. These are fragments of units that were on Hen Knot ships as loaded in the original deployments. So they didn't make it into the initial landings. Instead, I dropped them off at Point Knock, and then I'll bring them in at my leisure. You can see the Congos, some cruisers, minesweepers, and the destroyer division all headed towards Georgetown. We'll sweep the mines, and then we have about 580 naval support marching to Georgetown so we can rearm everything we need to rearm, including the Congo's guns out of Georgetown, while the submarines continue their work off Rangoon. Probably going to lose this. We're going to lose this fight here. We'll see if we can break through fast enough, but it looks like this brigade, though it's about half strength, is now likely to escape. That will make the fight for Singapore a bit harder. Last of our divisions at Wenzhou are loaded, and the divisions are all en route towards the Malaya. We're clearing mines at Hong Kong, pull our division out of Hong Kong, and get 38th into the Malaya for essentially our 6th division run at Singapore. Meanwhile, continue advance on the ground towards Burma and to isolate Burma, and Cardiff 1 and 2 finish covering the Cocos landings. Will now move north and raid the Indian Ocean and operate out of Georgetown for resupply. That's all good. And you can see the last few stragglers trying to get out to the Philippine Sea. We have small task forces available to run them down. So very few will end up escaping. Anyway, that's it for today. Oh, well, we'll retain OPSEC in the South Pacific until a turn or two from now. But looking forward to our next chance to talk as always.